The Ballon d'Or has been decided, and congratulations to Rodri, a winner for the very first time since 1960 for Spain. But as you know, with the Ballon d'Or ceremony, not everyone is happy with the eventual winners of the ceremony. Real Madrid expressed their displeasure. Today we're going to talk about whether Vinicius Jr., who Real Madrid thought should have won the title, was unfairly treated in this voting for the Ballon d'Or. Jijo and Delali will doing this with me. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
First off, Rodri for Ballon d'Or. He has won it for the first time since 1960 for a Spanish international, despite we having the likes of Xavi, Iniesta, and co. And what are your thoughts on that win?
I think he has worked really, really hard for this. Whether he deserves it or not, Rodri is a very good player, and he has shown class and consistency over the. I think over the past 2 years, he has shown class and consistency, helping Man City to win the Champions League for the first time as well, and winning the treble with them was fantastic. And as well, with his recent run with the Spanish national team, leading the team to another European title, has been fantastic. And I think Rodri is a fantastic footballer. As to whether he deserves the award or not, I think that will be a question for another time. But Rodri is a very good player.
We'll answer it today.
We'll answer it today. But I think Rodri is a fantastic player. He has done really well. He deserves the award, and also I think the recognition. Let me put it this way: he deserves the recognition because looking at what he has done over the years, I think no defensive midfielder has been able to do that. You get me? I think Modric is the only midfielder.
Busquets is watching you right now.
Busquets? yeah, because some may argue that. But now that he has won the Ballon d'Or, I think
it cements his legacy.
Yeah, I think that shows because he has played a crucial role with Man City, a club that don't have so much heritage. You get what I'm trying to say? Coming in, leading the team to a major trophy like that is a huge one, and also with his national team, which is the Spanish national team as well. Looking at the players that they have in the team, a lot of them are young.
Yeah,
you have the likes of Lamine Yamal, very young lad, 17-year-old. Nico Williams, very young. There are only 2 or 3 experienced players in that team. You can mention Carvajal, and maybe Unai Simon, who is a goalkeeper, then Rodri. In terms of experience, he leads the team to a major European title. So it's a very good one for Rodri. But to me, in my opinion, I wanted Vinicius Jr. to win it because he has also really worked hard. And coming from where I think he has come from a disadvantaged background and beating all odds, getting to such a high, like the topest level of football. I think he deserves something to crown it off. You get me? But all the same, Rodri also deserves it. Yeah.
Delali, Rodri a deserved winner.
I think it's not robbery that Rodri won. I don't think. Vinny did great in the year under review, but it's not like they gave it to a player who is obviously of the book. I think just said Rodri has been an excellent player. He plays in a non-conventional role, not a role that you typically expect them to be a talk of town. But I think football is changing. We are moving from the forwards and the players that dribble around, and also I also think because of the Ronaldo-Messi
duopoly for so long,
it changed our perception of football.
What
we expect to win the Ballon d'Or. So when Modric won, it was more like it's moving from the usual people we expected them to see. Basically, the things you need to do to win the Ballon d'Or, Ronaldo and Messi changed it, obviously.
It changed the dynamics of everything.
And I think with the absence, we are always going to have this. Like, it's always going to be 2 players that deserve it, and one will win, and the others will not be happy about it.
Essentially, you can't satisfy everyone.
Exactly.
Even if we had given it to Vinicius Jr., you'd have seen the camp of Rodri or whoever coming up to say that he didn't deserve it.
When it was Ronaldo and Messi,
there was always fight.
And even with that, you could see that there's something differentiates between them. Like, before the Ballon d'Or happens, you could tell that, okay, because Ronaldo has won the Champions League, we are giving it to Ronaldo is winning ahead of Messi. But now, you don't have 2 players that are very, very good together.
At that level.
That they just need a goal to differentiate them. So you're going to see players that are either slightly on the same level.
So it's always going to be close.
Exactly. Moving
From now
forward, it's always going to be like that. It's always going to be very close, and that is why I think Rodri winning is not really. There's no conspiracy theory behind it. It's basically a group of people who just felt, or a group of people who voted in a direction.
Okay, so after the awards last night, Vinicius Jr. tweeted and said a lot of solidarity came in for him. He said, "I'll do it 10 times more." Initially, most of us thought it had to do with working harder to win the Ballon d'Or, but reports are coming in, and Delali doesn't buy that. But reports are coming in that tweet meant that he felt his fight against racism is what made him not win this award. His fight against racism, essentially, is why he was put aside for this award. What do you have to say to that?
I think he's right in some sense, because it's not just about the Ballon d'Or. If you look at previous players like Mario Balotelli and other players who fought against racism, they've been punished by football associations. The Italian Football Federation has punished Balotelli for several times for fighting racism. And Lukaku also suffered the same fate years ago at Inter Milan, if I'm not mistaken. I think these players have done nothing bad. They're just fighting for what they deem to be right. Because you cannot be a black person playing football in Europe, and week in, week out, you go onto the pitch and you suffer from some of these things. I saw Lukaku being red carded or given a second yellow card in a game because he decided to fight against racism in a match. And even Thierry Henry had to come out and say something about it. And it was a Syria game.
Syria game. Yeah.
Like, let's put the Ballon d'Or aside, right? Let's look at the real issues here. Is the racism issue being dealt with in the right way? No,
probably not. Yeah.
In terms of football,
it's not.
It's not
being handled well.
It's just like they're just doing a PR, saying no to racism, wear armbands when there's a FIFA. Or when there's Premier League.
But are they working towards it? I think we can say yes.
No, they're not working towards it. How can you be playing Premier League football, then you tell people to kneel down? And some players refuse to kneel down because they don't believe what you're saying is right. And they get fined for it.
Interesting.
And you set aside a whole month for Black History Month, whilst you only do that only in that month. Kneeling down in the Premier League happens in just November, October.
Oh, I think it's October, now all November. Games. So
no, it's they have a Black.
Since the start of the season, they've been kneeling down before they start games.
No, that was seasons ago, but now they've only set aside certain months for it.
But I personally
think the racism issue in football in general needs to be dealt with. Yeah. And now, if you don't deal with it, like, I think if they don't deal with it, these are some of the issues that come, because certain people will think because they are fighting against racism, they don't deserve an award. You get what I'm trying to say? I think Ballon d'Or itself has really done a great job. They've managed their PR very well in terms of how to they're giving out criteria,
how making the award so glamorous.
Yes, and
sweet and
you understand. They've done really well. Like I really like it. They give us criteria. They give out even before the whole nomination and everything. The hype around it was there. I think it's the best award, football award so far. Even though we have FIFA awards,
it's the highest.
We have the UEFA awards. They've done really well, and I think they are not to be blamed for Vinicius Junior not winning the award. No. I think it's just so beyond.
You don't think it's racism? That's why he didn't win the award. Do you agree with what his team was putting out there?
I think it's beyond Ballon d'Or. This racism issue is beyond. It's like football in general.
Yeah. Okay, Delali, what do you think? Racism, the reason why he was denied this. I personally feel that racism is a serious issue, and when we start using it as a reason why someone it just spoils it and makes it less serious. You guys are weaponizing the whole thing. For example, it just makes it not something that people take seriously.
Like it's completely not.
I saw a black referee in a Premier League game the last time, and someone said he made a decision. Like the referee made a decision, but it seems we're here discussing that, and I don't know, but I forgot. But someone said because he's a black person, like he doesn't have to get that decision wrong. He's afraid to get that decision wrong, so he has to consult VAR. You know what I'm trying to say? So like the whole racism issue in football, like you see, we look at certain people. I think Vinicius Junior is more like it's like a famous person, and I think he's playing for one of the biggest clubs in the world, and maybe because of his nationality as well, Brazilian and South American football, they have a lot of. I think they have a lot of fight. The last time you have Enzo Fernandez singing in a bus,
And
do you remember saying the France national team? You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So all these issues coming up, football, like I think the FIFA and the football people, I think they've not been able to solve some of these issues.
Some
because
of them are
someone
cultural and deeply rooted. So
yes,
it's
because
racism
the
goes
beyond just what we see.
the person,
here.
you see, the football fan. I don't want to digress and make the conversation about racism.
But it's
for
not
me,
about racism. But
I'm just going to
essentially,
say that,
did Vinny Junior lose because of racism?
I think he didn't lose this because he's fighting against racism.
I also don't think so. I think if Ballon d'Or
We'll
would
come
give
to
award
why
to
you
some-
think he lost,
But not-
and whether
not-
So
not-
let me just get.
I personally don't think he lost because he's fighting against racism. Because at the end of the day, they didn't give it to
Someone who was far away,
who's like basically not even
far away in
the
terms of
picture.
being below.
Yes, exactly. Not someone who is not even in the picture. Assuming they gave it to, let's say, some goalkeeper B or a player like Rudiger won it, then you know that's
Oh, there's
Rudiger
something.
too is
There's an
a
issue.
black person.
No, but I'm just saying.
He's
that
just
yeah,
saying
yeah,
that the golfing performances and all that.
It should be extremely different for you to say. Assuming they give it to Lamine Lamar, then you know that.
You know the reason why
this is-
some let me argue for Vinicius Junior here. The reason why Vinicius Junior will see that is because he has faced a lot of sanctions in terms of this racism issue. There are other players who are black, right? But they've not constantly
No, but
fought
you see,
against racism.
I'm saying
you see,
that-
Vinicius Junior for like even La Liga.
And Vinicius
itself,
Junior has sort of
branded
antagonized himself
like-
in a way that the
like-
whole of Spain. He even
Yeah.
made a statement that Spain should not be awarded or the World Cup ticket that they got to host
Do you
it
know-
should be
do you know
taken
that-
from them
do you know
if
that-
racism is not solved.
Yeah,
He
like,
made a
do
statement
you
like
know
that.
that?
But
critically,
some of,
them
I think they are
statements-
diverting or they are
No,
aggressing a bit
I know
here.
what you're trying to say. But what I'm saying, I'm trying to come like you see, we are all speaking against Vinicius Junior's. I'm trying
Okay.
to like look at the other side of it.
Okay, trying to step in his shoes. Okay.
Like be in his shoes. You get what I'm trying to say? Because if Vinicius Junior is someone who constantly fights against racism, even when he's on the pitch, and people say because of his antics, people say because of his dancing, people say because of this. That is why they chant like racism chant against him, right? And people will continue to say that because he always does things that will bring that topic about. Even in La Liga games, week in, week out, we hear one or two articles, Vinicius Junior involved in racist attack. And even on his Twitter page, you come and tweet. If you mostly follow him, you come and tweet here and there about racism. And he will try to pinpoint,
Instances and all.
this. And people even say that they should ban certain stadiums because of this chant against Vinicius Junior. So if you look at what Vinicius Junior has been through as a person, looking at
All that
looking at all that and putting all that into perspective. You understand where he's coming from.
Okay.
But,
But
he
didn't lose it
because of racism.
No, but it's, and that's and for me that's my
Essentially,
point.
that's
Like,
the point.
and
He
for
didn't
me-
lose because
Like
of
like he
racism,
did
yeah.
and it'll be you like you have to talk plenty to make an argument that he lost it because of racism.
No,
You know, you have used like more than 5 minutes to explain why it's racism, and it's still crass. Somebody will still not get what
what you are saying.
that is it because
It's not.
it's never the reason why he lost. Because I assuming I'm a journalist and I'm going to vote and I'm giving a list. I'm giving the chance to vote for my like top 5 players. That like racism is the last thing that will come to my
Into your mind.
For me to choose a player ahead of you.
Yes,
so
yes.
like he's basically out of the picture.
We are not denying the fact that some would be biased.
obviously.
Biases are everywhere, and I personally feel that it's a
But
voting game.
even
It's
if
voting. By all means, someone
Once
will
you are
have their
very-
favorite.
Once you are very close
Someone,
to the,
yeah.
See, even to dates, I always say this, even to dates, if you get up in the morning and ask someone who is the best left back, someone will mention Marcelo. In as much as he's even retiring from football. That's how people form opinions, and it's very difficult.
and
for
that
you
is
to
why I
change
think
it.
you have to be too good for you to be ignored. That is why I
That's
think
yes,
good.
You have
yes.
to be too
That's the
good.
word.
So
Yeah.
that
There
beyond
should be a
reasonable
doubt.
doubts.
That is why even as Zoom and also one said that because he knows where
You
he's
bring
coming
your ref
from.
If he said,
He knows
if
that
like come with your
the
referee,
ref-
he will
he
knock
will
you
kick
down
you
before
out
we
so
get
that
to
Your
that.
referee will understand that no, that is it.
That's my point, and that's the
you
point
have
I'm
to be
making.
very good.
And the truth is that, of course, there were statements going around that as a black person, you have to work maybe 100 times
Yes, that's
harder
yes,
than the regular.
yes,
And,
so that
and
is
that is not being denied. But let's just put it out there.
Yeah.
It's 100 or 50 journalists that vote. You cannot tell me that these guys
All the
don't
100.
have, or all the 100 were biased because of racism. You cannot tell me also that these 100 guys don't. They obviously have their favorites. It's a voting game. You have to be a likable person.
And also-
one of the criteria was fair play and character, sort of. I think
Yeah,
the
that was
third
the
one.
last one. That is
Yeah,
why
so
you
I
didn't
think
put into that
that
category.
is where maybe Vinicius Junior
even-
fell short.
Yes.
And even
in
with
terms
me-
of that
you see,
character,
and
because
even with-
his antics, the
Yeah,
Kimmich,
that is what
Kimmich was giving a ball to him in the semi-final. Then he removed his hand. Then Kimmich gave it back to him, and
I think- I
moved
think-
away.
I
Like
think-
there are so many funny
I
things he
think that
does on
is
the
what-
pitch that
I-
people don't like. It doesn't make him likable, but you have to be likable,
But
and
see-
that makes it also a
And
bit
for
tougher.
another reason is also I think recency bias also comes in.
Yeah.
Because when the season started, it was Jude Bellingham. Bellingham was basically playing everything.
You mean last season?
Like
Yeah.
last season, sorry, I mean like when last season, like basically.
Yeah, and
the year
Vinny
that we-
started at the curve when they
Yeah,
got
so
the second
Roma,
half of the
like
season.
Jude Bellingham had an excellent season. We're
yeah.
all saying Jude Bellingham.
Yeah,
Jude
Jude
Bellingham.
Bellingham.
When we entered into the Champions League, like Vinicius Junior just showed
He
up.
stepped
and started
up a
playing
notch,
some
yeah.
solid football. It was basically between him and. It was between Vinicius
Just-
Junior
and Jude Bellingham, yeah.
And then Rodri came in. Rodri was not really talked about, but he had the numbers in his favor.
Yeah.
He has helped Manchester City win. I think they lost only a single game in there. So he has always been around. And then we went into the international football. That's the most recent tournament before
Yeah,
the people.
yeah,
And I think
Once I'm coming.
Yeah.
Once we got into that level, it was international football.
Football, yeah.
Vinicius Junior went to play Copa America. It was, excuse my language, it was shit.
Shit, yeah, he didn't do well.
A young team, a Spanish team that nobody gave them a dog chance. Underdog
Came in-
story
came in and-
went all the way to win. Rodri
Yeah.
ended up winning the thing. Once he gets to that level, recency bias sets in. And when this recency bias, people start voting based on the recent performance and what it is. It's not be now when they go check
Champions League, now
good. And when I'm asked to
La
vote
Liga.
to good, and when I'm asked to vote to, they don't add I don't think they add
The criteria?
the data. No, not even the
Okay, the
statistics, yeah.
Good, the statistics of the other team that the other players that I'm supposed to vote for. So basically, if you okay, there's conversation about Rodri. What has Rodri done? And I saw like some best player. The Euros best player was Rodri. Best player in the Copa America was Rodriguez. Best player of the Champions League was Vinicius Junior. Best player in the Premier League was Phil Foden. Best player in La Liga was Jude Bellingham. So you could see that Rodri won the Euros best player. Vinicius Junior won best player in the Champions League. Now you come to both players and their performance. Rodri played 63 matches. Vinicius played 49. Rodri won 50 out of that. Vinicius won 32. Goal scored, obviously one. Goal scored.
I don't
Rodri
like.
is
You
a-
see, that's the problem here. Goals, a DM, and a
you see,
forward. Who's game
who
more?
get more?
Oh, of course, it's the forward.
Vinicius, even with that, Vinicius had 26 goals. Rodri as a DM had 12 goals. As a DM,
He still has more than him, so
you
I
see,
can't. I
like,
will not.
no, even I'm just
it will not
saying-
be a fair assessment.
it's not
I
fair
think.
assessment, but based on each player and their performance. No, I'm just saying that if you check the statistics,
They are not far off.
Good. Like both titles won. Vinicius won 3 titles. Rodri won 4 titles. You could see. So it's not really like they gave it to a player whose statistics and data is extremely far from Vinicius Junior. And that is where I think opinion and those voting came in. And also the recency bias worked against him. The fact that Vinicius Junior struggled, or the entire Brazil team struggled at the Copa America, and Rodri with a less experienced team going all the way to win the Euros that people didn't even consider them as favorites. Automatically, they easily become a favorite. And others, and you know why people are also really angry that Vinicius didn't win? It's simply, and that's where the recency comes in. It's simply because of Vinicius' recent performance in the Champions League.
Yeah.
But at that time, they are done making the vote. So that's the recency bias.
sure?
And that's the
Are we
recency-
sure about that,
Yes,
though?
I'm sure. Because
Is-
at that
is
time,
it-
they are
is
done.
it-
they are
I
done
also
there.
agree.
And also, some would say that probably Rodri's year was last year when they gave it to Messi.
That's what I'm-
Another
yeah.
thing to we
The
have to
recency
note.
bias comes.
Rodri's year was probably 2023 it was either between him and Haaland.
You see,
Those
that- you
two,
see, that-
one
you
of
see-
them
you
should
see-
have
you
won
see,
it.
That is why.
And
Yeah,
that's
so
where-
that's where
that's where
that is where
that's where the issue
that is
is.
where the issue is. You see, that is where the issue is. If you use precedence, if you use what has already happened,
So it's like
that is where
some
the
felt
issue
that
is.
they were compensating him.
Very
He's injured throughout for a whole year plus. He will
Looking
not
at-
play again. When will he ever get to this form again? Some were making that argument, and
You know-
it made sense
No,
actually.
but I heard,
you know,
and the person closer
and
to
what-
him, and that's the thing.
You
And
see,
you said
like, I-
he was not. Vinicius was not extremely better
Yes.
than Rodri, so it's easy for whoever wants to vote for Rodri to go for him.
Yeah.
Okay, so last season, right? Did Haaland deserve the Ballon d'Or?
The
Yeah,
season
in
that,
my opinion,
Messi
City
won.
won a hat trick.
Yes.
Yeah, he won it.
Why didn't they
City
give
won a
awards
treble
to-
actually.
They gave it to
Messi.
They gave it to
because-
Messi.
Oh, I think,
And Rodri too as well was in contention.
Yes. So why was award given to Messi?
That's the
That's
voting
what-
and
that's the
recency and
voting.
favoritism.
Voting.
What
You
is
see-
it?
see, once you put it down to voting,
yes. So what
you
I'm
have to
saying
be
is that-
someone people like.
Good.
If Messi comes into the conversation next
Again,
year,
he will win.
he'll win. People like Messi.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that the stature of Messi doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, that's
so
what
it's
I'm saying.
about
Are you-
being
yeah,
like
it doesn't
a
matter. It doesn't
person.
matter.
No, don't
So,
get
like-
me wrong. I didn't
Ah,
read
okay,
the
so
stats.
that's why
Yeah, you see,
No,
if
wait,
you-
I'm
if
coming.
you
I'm
say
coming.
the statue,
Oh no, you see,
then the
I
trophies
didn't.
and the
Wait,
things,
I
doesn't
come.
matter. If you like,
No, let me,
Guys, we are dragging this argument a bit.
Let me make this if not you maybe you didn't. I didn't bring the stats to say that he won because of the statistics. I brought the stat to prove a point that
they are not
both-
far away from
both
each
of
other.
them,
Yes,
they are-
and we
they
all
are
know
not
that.
far away from each other.
For example, if you look at the Copa America, it was a disastrous performance by
From
LeBron.
Brazil in general.
And that, in my opinion, does not
Did
make
it for him.
Yes, does not make him like he doesn't deserve the Ballon d'Or for that performance in the Copa America, right? But someone went on to win the Copa America. Lautaro Martinez. You know what I'm trying to say?
Okay, guys,
You-
I know.
I'm just
So
trying to
now
say
we've
that
established that
went on.
Rodri deserved it, and Vinny was not sidelined because of racism. They are not far apart from each other. Finally, what do you think about Real Madrid not attending it? Chicho, I'll start with you. Real Madrid
It's
not going.
unacceptable. I think
Some will say that you invited me to a program, you nominated me, I didn't want to come. What's
Yeah, you see, you
crazy
can choose.
about that?
Let me add. You can
Yeah.
choose not to attend to an event, but the commentary you make after us.
Oh,
so,
okay.
like the commentary made it.
the
obvious
reason
that-
Okay, the commentary from
the
all
reason they
seven
gave
players.
the reason they gave of not attending
was because
was
they said,
unacceptable.
Carvajal, if Vinicius is not winning, then why not Carvajal?
So that
So
it doesn't mean
that
that you are
means
not going
that
to
if-
show up for the next edition.
So if you
are-
So going for what do you think
the-
they should
the
do?
last
Should
edition,
they
for
ban Real
example-
Madrid players from winning this?
They can't do that. Like you see, they can't also ban Real Madrid.
Because it will now taint them
yeah,
some
that's
way.
also they also being that's also France football being petty.
Yeah.
I think this point, like
Yeah,
you
one
know,
has to show
apart
maturity.
from Real Madrid fans, everybody is not happy with Real Madrid not showing up. Like
yeah.
I'm not saying everybody, but I'm saying most of the football lovers and
Fraternity,
journalists
yeah.
are not happy with Real because you also win at a point, and you would expect the loser to also,
To also
show up and
congratulate you.
congratulate you. And for me, that's completely
Yeah, sportsmanship
wrong.
has to be there all
Yes.
the time. I think looking at Real Madrid themselves, they are putting themselves at risk because you have players that can win the Ballon d'Or for quite a number of years
yeah.
to come. See, you have Bellingham, you can win the next Ballon d'Or.
Mbappe.
You have Mbappe, you have Rodrigo Goes, you have Vinicius.
Even
Now
Vinicius
can win
himself,
the Ballon d'Or
yeah.
even on because if Real Madrid keep performing at the
Performing
highest
like this.
level, keep winning Champions League football, and these players perform well at their various national
it's
teams.
going
Yeah,
to
with
them.
national teams that will have
Yeah,
potential of
because France-
performing well.
Spain, Brazil,
Brazil.
Argentina, here and there. So I think Argentina plays well.
So guys, let us know what you think in the
I was
comments
surprised to
box.
see an Argentina player playing for Real Madrid.
You think Vinicius Jr.
think
deserved
that would
it
be-
over
that would be Alejandro
Rodri?
Garnacho.
Do you think Rodri was a deserved winner of the Ballon d'Or? Was he sidelined because of racism? I think we've handled it all here. And Real Madrid not attending the ceremony in entirety. Was it a right move from the Los Blancos? I'll see you guys in the next one. Guys, thank you for joining me to discuss this one here. Enjoy the rest of your week.